Are we going to have any more shocks in week 5 of the LEC? This is the Fantasy League. Well, here we are, week 5, the halfway point. Now, how do our predictions stand up to the team's gameplay throughout the halfway point? As a reminder, these are the week 4 standings and things are getting pretty close. But let's move on, it's rundown time. Week 5 started off with Mad Lions taking on Misfits in Game 1. Now, Dragon went to Mad Lions early on, but Misfits ended up with an easy Herald, which they then promptly used on the Tier 1 mid tower. Baron also ended up Misfits' way, and they kept the momentum, proceeding to beat out Mad Lions. Game 2 saw the bottom 2 teams, Vitality and Schalke, duke it out. Dragon ended up with Schalke, again early on. They also took an uncontested Herald, and then used it on the Tier 1 top tower of Vitality. They also got themselves the Baron, and wrapped up the game with an ace and a victory. Game 3, and after a really poor week 4, could G2 get back on the horse and take out XL? Well, they started well, getting the Dragon early on. XL made sure they got the Herald in return, and again used it on a top tower. But G2 ended up getting themselves the Baron and getting back on the horse and winning the game as well. Game 4, and it was Origin whose turn it was to take on SK. And take on they did. They ended up with the early Dragon and the Herald, pretty uncontested. They then used it on the tower, and also got themselves the Baron, before then proceeding to sweep the match. Friday closed out with Rogue taking on Fnatic in Game 5. Dragon ended up the way of Rogue, which also happened with Herald. They also ended up with the bottom tower first. But Fnatic turned the game around, took out the Baron, and then took out a Nexus with a nice little ace. Saturday saw Game 1 being played by Vitality and SK. SK were taking objectives all over the place. First stealing the Drake, then fighting away to get the Herald. They then also got the first tower and also got the Baron. But Vitality turned it around and ended up taking out SK's Nexus for the win. Hold on, Vitality won. This calls for a celebration. Game 2 saw XL take on Schalke. Well, Dragon went to XL, as seems to be the tradition for blue teams these days. But Schalke ended up with the Herald, which seems to be the tradition of red teams. Tower went XL's way. Not common. Baron also went XL's way. Pretty common. And the win also went XL's way. Kinda middling. Game 3, and could Rogue break Misfits' winning streak? Let's find out. Well, Misfits ended up getting the first Dragon. They didn't get the Herald, that went to Rogue, who then also took the first tower. Misfits ended up with the Baron, but was it enough? Unfortunately not. Rogue destroyed the winning streak. The last regular game saw Mad Lions take on G2. And Mad brought it to them. They ended up with the Dragon. While G2 did get the Herald, I keep this clip going a little bit longer to show you that they did pick up the eye. Bing! Tower went G2's way as well. But Mad Lions took out the Baron and also kept G2 wanting as they got the win. Game 5, the game of the week, was Origin versus Fnatic. Fnatic ended up getting the first Herald after a little bit of a fight. They also ended up with the first Dragon, trust me on that. They also took the first tower, you can see that for yourself. They also just wandered in and took the Baron and swept the game by taking the Nexus. So, week 5's over, and that was another week of shocks, so let's bring up the tables. So your winner of week 5, with 37 points, was Martin, but how did that affect the table? Well, let's just say it's got closer than ever. There's now 5 points between first and last. So how will week 6 fare? Find out on the next Immaterial Gamers Fantasy League.